How do you like your carbine? With or without a clip? That's right. We now own both of them. We've done a video on this guy before, the 99 M1. Now we're going to take a look at an update on that and our new acquisition, 989 clip-fed M2. Check them out. Milsurp Garage. Don't you notice that really cool rifles come in pairs? Yeah. So originally we had the 99 M1 here with us. That's a 1967 manufacture, 9-round tubular magazine, 18-inch micro groove barrel, sporting the Bushnell Sport View 3X to 7X scope. These are manufactured from 64 to 78. Again, this was a 67. Developed by Ewald Nicole. We've been through the whole micro groove was designed by a different guy. I can't remember, is it Robinson, something like that. But the design of the Model 99 was Ewald Nicole. And originally, the first year that this guy came out, we had this. You remember, there's a video on this guy. Go check it out. Refresh your memory. It had this tubular magazine. It's a shorty. It's only, what was it, 9 rounds. But it did not have the regular loading port. You kind of had to take this completely out, hold it in your hand while you loaded the tube. Listen, for me, at my indoor range, it's nice and relaxing. It's not a big deal. For somebody out in the field, or for somebody that is trying to emulate the feel of the M1 Carbine, it's going to be a little detrimental to that, making that mental picture. So if you wanted to better use your imagination, you would be sporting the 989 M2. 989 M2 did away with any type of tubular magazine, and we just have the regular box round. We have 6-round box magazines, but they have others. You want 12s, 10s, or if they have crazy ones. So all kinds of magazines. This one is, let's see, where's this? Then this is a 66. They're 7-round mags. Again, 18-inch micro groove barrel. These were produced 65 to 78. So it's 1 year later, these came out. And this was essentially a Marlin 795 outfitted with a handguard. 795s with a box magazine fed version of the Model 60. But here's a picture. Here's an ad that shows both of these rifles, the 99 M1 and the 989 M2, and the corresponding regular, passenger car versions of them. And so the M1 we featured in our buffer changing video, both of them. We did both of these. We changed buffers in both of these. Again, I was saying they came with 2 mags. Let's see, there was some dating going on for the 2 mags. Let me see if I wrote it down. Because I know it didn't. Yes, it came with 2 magazines until 69. In 1970, the practice was discontinued, is what I read. I don't know if that means that it just came with 1 magazine. I guess that's what they meant by that. But when I got it, it did come with the extra one, and they look these look original. It also came with these 2 also that definitely, they have red plastic followers. These definitely looked aftermarket, but they work okay. But it's nice to have these 2, the 2 originals. Definitely steel follower. They have this specific look to them. It's nice to have the original mags. Looks like someone really took care of this one. It's nice, like the two of them, they kind of complement each other. This one's kind of like tiger striped, really dogged. It looks like somebody took this down right to the metal on the receiver. It's just kind of the way it was. Take a look at the video. It works really good. But here's a picture of the insides of the M1 actually during that video. And there's also, if you check out the video, there's some shooting video. During that shooting video is when the buffer gave out because that was the last time I shot it before I opened it up doing the buffer replacement video, and the buffer was shattered. So I think there might have been a crack in it. It's tough to see from that clip there. But I do show some of the insides. I was kind of happy it had the original buffer. But you know what? If you have one of these original buffers, it's the same as having no buffer or a broken buffer. You got to just change them, you know. They will shatter upon shooting if the original ones that just at this point, I just don't think they could hold up to it anymore. They're hard. They're like glass now, you know, even if it does have the original one. And you see when you change them and you put in the replacements, you get that real rubbery feel when you open up the bolt all the way, you know. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so the internals that were in that video were that had the buffer replaced on it. On this one, I did the same thing. I'm not going to take it apart again. Check out that video if you want to see what was inside. We had some problems with this one. With this one, I did not capture the hammer spring. I forget it. It made a nightmare. This is a typical thing that people do with these. Just if you're going to take them apart, check out there's a lot of videos online. Look at them really good before you start messing around with these trigger groups, because not the trigger groups, the action with the hammer and all that. You have to capture the spring that's in there before you fully take it down. Changing these buffers isn't easy. But I did see online there's a new type of buffer where you just kind of chip apart with a chisel or whatever, however you do it. You cut apart, you get rid of the old buffer that's on there if there's any remnants of it left. There's a new buffer that you can put on now without having to take the action apart. And it does make sense, because all it's got to do is just somehow snap over the post that's there, and it ain't going anywhere. You know, it's going to be captured inside the action, especially when it's put inside the stock or inside the receiver. So that's a pretty good idea, whoever came up with that. So research that. I recommend it, because just taking them apart completely is it's a little harrowing. But that's an interesting video that I got up there doing that. I had to cut out the whole section that was like an hour long of me piecing it back together. I just couldn't bear making you guys sit through that. But yeah, so here's the story with these. They have barrel date codes. That's how you're going to find out the year. People they go, they don't have serial numbers. How are you figuring out the year? Here is the date code chart. And I'm going to show you where to get your barrel date code. Here's our barrel. Marlin Firearms Company, 989 M2, caliber 22 long rifle, New Haven, Connecticut, USA. And right there we have an H and what must be a J. There's nothing else that shape that could have formed any other letter but the J in this chart. And on the M1, that's the M2. On the M1, we have an EK. So the K, 67, and the J, 66. That's how I'm dating them. And you could, there's only this small window right here for Marlins to be able to do that. I'm pretty sure there isn't a I guess if you get into serial numbers or stuff like that, you can start poking around to see if there's any way to date them. But I know that this specific chart was just for these years. These codes were just for these years. You know what's I'll tell you what sucks about this rifle. We're missing the bullseye. That's right. It is just gone. It just fell out, and I don't know what that bullseye looks like. It looks like that. It's kind of cool that Marlin did that. It's one of those things that you look at that you see on Marlins is kind of unique and interesting. And unfortunately, it was just missing. You can buy them. They look like they're aftermarket. whatever. One of these days, I'm gonna come across one. There are different sizes apparently, like depending on the different what different guns they are. They have different sizes. So interesting information on these guys. These guys were like $50 a pop back in the day. How could you go wrong? The Marlin Firearms History of the Guns and the Company That Made Them, Brophy. The Brophy Marlin book has a really good, whoa, I'm not on the, I thought it was on the page. I'm not even on the page. Oh, and it's real hard to find things in this book. That's terrible. Where are the autoloaders? All right, here's the autoloaders. Oh, that wasn't that bad. So when you take over into Edwald Nicole years, these are the older years. We have a video up on one of these older ones. Check it out. When we get here with the Model 99, this is where things get real interesting. This was the pre-Model 60, let's say. You could call them that. And when the 99 came out, that's when they made the 99 M1. And it was the 989 that was kind of like a deluxe version of the 99C. 99C had the tubular magazine, and the 989, as you can see, had the box mag. So that's how they were able. Here's the 99 M1, and here's the M2 Carbine. These were the years they were made, the prices, how much they cost, and yeah, the only thing they say bad about these two was that this magazine was a pain in the ass for the M1. But you know what? If it meant that we got two different ones, then I'm okay with it. The next year they said, "Well, let's make it out of the 989 so we could have the box mag M1 Carbine." You know, great, even better. You know. So yeah, I like these guys. They shoot really good. They're very reliable. They're very smooth, high quality feel to them. Let's bust out our realistic snap caps for a little bit of a. Let's do a little bit of a function drill with the. Why are these straps falling apart? Woo. Let's do a little bit of a function drill here with the M2. These are the new batch. The new batch of 22s from Realistic Snap Caps. These things are completely inert. There's no priming compound. There's no powder. They are totally inert, totally safe to do function drills. The only thing that would be 100% safe to do function drills, that's 7. And check online, order these things. They have all different calibers, and you get 10% off if you use my coupon code MILSURPGARAGE, one word. Look how sweet. Oh yeah, that's right. It doesn't have a hold open, so look how smooth that fed just then. I didn't think it was gonna. Did it actually feed one? Unbelievable. I thought it wasn't gonna take the magazine fully loaded with the bolt closed. That's another thing with the hold open. Where did I write? Did I write that down? The hold open didn't kick in till I want to say 69. 69, and the hold open wasn't a last shot hold open. It was a pull the bolt handle in and out hold open. So you would like open the bolt and push you would literally open it and then push the handle in. I think my Model 60 SB that I have a video, stainless barrel Model 60 that I have up there had a bolt like that. And you'd be able to lock it open, because with this one, cleaning it or whatever it's a pain in the neck, because literally there's nothing that holds it. There's no last shot hold open. There's no way for you to even just push a button to hold it open to be able to clean the receiver or anything. That's why when you get these, they are really dirty. The M1 that I got was really filthy. This one, not as bad. It was in cleaner shape. You can see even the wood on this one is really nice. This one was taken care of, but it was dirty. So yeah, look at how smooth it loads. And now with the buffer changed, it's going to feel really nice, out at the range. And with these, just like the last one, that's not its fault. That round bounced off my finger. It doesn't matter if you go fast. It doesn't matter if you go slow. However you cycle these things, they're very positive loading and ejection. And yeah, for seven round mags, like I said, there's 15ers. I've seen ones out there, whatever. But I'm pretty sure this is what they got furnished with, was the 7 rounds. There's like rumors that at some years they came with 15-round ones to emulate the M1 carbine, but I think those are just rumors. I'm not sure if any of that is true. Yeah, so micro groove. The micro groove rifling. That's a patent you should check out. Dig into that and poke around. I think his name was Robinson. We covered that on our last videos more. It was supposedly would deform the bullet less to make them more accurate. To actually make rifles that use barrels like that more accurate. But at least Marlin was trying something. They were playing around. They were experimenting. And that's the M2. It's tough. That other video, I don't want to rehash the same stuff. So they're so similar. There really isn't much to say. But these things, they come with. Every time I find one of these, they come with a scope. They come with a sling. They're cheap. They're only $50 new. And they're not much more than that now. It's like it even doubled in price. That's not bad from all the way from the mid 60s. I'll tell you one thing though, you got to do this with all of them. When you get one of these, right up here, there's like a little set screw right inside of here. Get like one of these guys or something like that and just tighten this thing down. See, you loosen this. It's really, really long set screw. So it could like literally come out that far and still be in there. But trust me when I tell you, it will be loose. I haven't seen one of these where it isn't loose. So you just get in there, snug that down so you don't lose this piece or the front sight. These are proprietary front sights just for these guns. From what I've seen, could be wrong with that, but from what I've seen, these are proprietary and you do not want to lose the set screw or the sight itself. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Marlin 989 M2. It is the brother to the M1 whose sling fell apart. Let's see, where should I hook? Let's just hook it all the way up top. There we go. That's what I think it was. And yeah, don't they really complement each other well, I think. And see you all soon. We got some more 22s on the way. This one, it was tough. I didn't know whether to include the footage of doing the buffer as part of the rifle video or what. So it got kind of convoluted. And then since I already did a video on this other one, this was more like a show and tell. But if I had to pick, here's the thing. Somebody might say, which one do you like better? Got to be honest with you. I like them exactly the same. What could I tell you? I'm sorry. I like the 7-round. I like the 9-round capacity here. And this is a really smooth tube mag to load and play with, provided you're not standing and provided you're sitting at a table. You know what I mean? And, but I like the box mag too. I like being able to just swap the magazines out. This does feel more like the M1 carbine though. The box magazine one, obviously. And but you know what? You'd have to lose the scope to really get the true feel. If you really wanted to use your imagination that you're firing an M1 carbine, you definitely want to lose the scope on either of them. Oh, by the way, the sight. This didn't come with that sight either. These came with a proprietary sight that everybody only made fun of anyway, saying it was too close to the shooter's eye. Because if you look at it, wherever it was, it would go inside the rail. So even if you put it all the way up here, still the rear sight would still be over here somewhere on a regular rifle. You know what I mean? So it being on this rail, people had said it was too close. That's why everybody threw a scope on one of these, because it's really hard for them to use the open sights the way they were. And that one is like unobtainable. You know, when you see a rifle that has it, they're like $800, $900,000. When a rifle that's like mint and like brand new and it has that sight on it, that's how much they go for, believe it or not. The sight itself is only a few $100, more than what you'd pay for the rifle. So in my opinion, it's not even worth it. I wouldn't even play around. Just throw a nice 22 scope on there and have at it. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.